How y'all doing? Y'all alright? Y'all alright? Y'all glad it's Friday? I'm glad. Y'all came in for the poetry, right? The spoken word artists. Got some beautiful artists, man. We got a crazy list, and the feature is wow. Rashid Copeland, y'all ever heard of him? Y'all heard of him? I guarantee everybody will be screaming once you hear this dude. Like those hear this dude. I'm gonna give y'all some haikus. Y'all know what haikus are? We do haiku commercials. Y'all like that?
Yes.
So I'll continue to do it. So this is a family event, man. We have a good time.
When I felt your mother's belly, the connection between father and son was awakened. See, I know God's love is real because with this love there's no mistake. When I held you in my arms, our bond was established, never to be broken. Paternal instincts inside came alive when I laid him in his crib for the very first time and I watched him dream. Son, I cried. I love you. So I stepped up to the plate.
No need to look back, only forward. Trust your past is safe where it is.
A mere figure of speech. A product of a casualty that happened between the sheets. So, there were no hugs and kisses like most mothers give freely to their child. No memorable moments of silence.
When church service becomes the reality show. When your spirit is diminished by coming in the door. When church becomes a bore. When it becomes less of a journey and more like a chore. I mean, no one feels...
Rods burning like embers, and I remember loss of my girlhood as I watched myself from the ceiling, devoid of feeling.
Secret pieces of anguish. Grandmothers know a secret language that hushes little babies and big ones. Yeah. Grown men were humbled and returned to the seedling sons from which they sprout. She didn't even have to shout. Grandma spoke soft and carried no stick. Her words simply stick to the rib. She was a home-cooked meal serving itself from a bottomless dish. Breaking bread, chicken, and fish. My Ichthys BC, a practitioner of alchemy who transmuted suffering into golden experiences. She was my rock.
If you try changing your attitude, maybe he will change your last name.
I do it, my heart starts to pound and I get anxious waiting for my turn to come around, and I thought I had it bad, but some of them would rather do this than sleep.
Right.
Hell, some of them had to do it so they could eat.
Right.
And we would all meet at the same place on a Friday night, all waiting for a chance to get a fix and hit that pipe, which happened to be attached to a mic. Next thing I know, I'm on the bus at my job trying to memorize this poem, and that's when I knew I was an addict of this art form. See, I'm an addict. I admit it, I can't hide it, nor do I deny it. I'm addicted to metaphors, similes, and hyperboles, hearing stories of hope, love, despair, and fantasies, delivered in packages, cleverly hidden in verse and rhyme, filling my brain with substance that was otherwise filled with idle time. My foreplay comes from smooth wordplay, and my blunt comes from an artist that blows truth with no stunts or fronts. My lines sometimes go to my head so rapidly, feels like I might OD, but the feeling I get from touching one with my words warms my heart intravenously.
Yes.
I'm an addict. I admit it. I can't hide it, nor do I deny it.
This has been with me since I was a child, but it's gotten worse as I've gotten older. For those of you who don't write poetry, don't start, it's an addiction, and I'll be the first to tell you that I told you. I remember one time when I was 10, I had to write so bad and I couldn't find a pencil or pens. What did I do? I stole my little sister's Crayolas. I'm stuck on pen like penguin, pen pal, pen pusher, penning. Penalty, penalized, pending. Pentagon, penitentiary, pension, penetrate, penetration, pentium, penicillin. Pendergrass, peninsula, Pennsylvania, Pensacola, pennies, penniless, penny loafers. Penology, pentoxide, pentecostal, penthouse, pentel, pensive. That's 30 pens got me strung out. Girl. Girl, I remember that day we met. It was a beautiful sunset. I was 8 years old running home because the street lights just came on and you were laying on the sidewalk, right? Told you I wouldn't forget. And I'm fiending for you with my every step.
60-some odd years ago, when we existed as preludes for forever, never thought conceivable. One day I looked at you on accident. And at that moment, my soul outgrew its cocoon and bloomed into what God had called it to be. You gave me that feeling. It felt like dying in between your heartbeats, the type of breathlessness that makes you want to share the air from one another's lungs, coalesce the DNA from one another's tongues. Your pulse sung our wedding vows in Morse code. Our fate was like an origami Sankofa bird unfolding itself into a poem. We were two married constellations making love on the back of God, and then one day it happened. A star was born. So I named it North. And like a thorn, I stuck it in the night of your soul. So should I ever find myself lost in the perils that this world has to offer, all I did was to look at you and find my way home. And as I lay here on my deathbed, remorseful about leaving you on this earth alone, I promised God that before I left, I'd let it be known exactly how I felt. One night in 2016, you were all alone and I grew afraid as my hand grazed the cusp of your shoulder blade. The wounds from your newly amputated angel wings were still fresh. And I never quite got the chance to thank you for becoming human for me. 2023, your womb felt like Africa before colonization. You smiled like a ticklish sun and brought me to the realization of the nation building in your stride, your hair sprouting from your physique, you, a newly planted family tree, fertility within the trunk of your thighs. From the moment we met, I knew that you had the eyes of my great-grandchildren. 2030, one night I watched you sleep, and deep in my soul you brought me to the belief that the Son of Man was a daughter. So I sat there, marveled at your halo of wool. Finally I understood the salvation in your stare. 2031, I was hurt, and you were there. 2037, we slow danced in a snowstorm and didn't care. 2040, you loved me. 2046, you still loved me. 2050, you touched me. It still felt like euphoria. 2058. One night I held you in the midst of a seizure, and as you convulsed like a honey-brown earthquake, I prayed to God to transform me into a nerve, transport me inside of your brain, equip me with the voice of an angel so that I could lull away your pain. Throughout the years, a lot has changed, but the one thing that has remained the same is that I have always tried to love you as if today were the only tomorrow I'd ever have. I am convinced that the blood running through our veins is more like fine wine, for the love we were entrenched in grew better with time.